You're now watching The Walk Daily. Today in news, Representative Greg Stube has filed a bill to deport Prince Harry. I guess Prince Harry admitted to using drugs in social media, but on his application to come to the United States, he said he didn't use any drugs. And so I guess what Greg Stube is saying, if you lie on the paperwork on that visa application, you're going to get deported. And so you're saying if he wasn't a prince, he'd be deported. Let's not have a two-tier system for celebrities like Prince Harry. Now, Prince Harry, he might get deported because he actually did say he didn't use drugs, but then he did say he did use drugs, which is a lie. Also in news, Connecticut had $15 million in sales in the month of July, or close to it, and that's their actually biggest number yet. They keep on the increase. At the same time, their medicinal program, or their medical marijuana program, those medical shops aren't seeing the numbers they were seeing initially. They're seeing a decline because a lot of the customers who were going to the medical marijuana facilities, I guess, are now going to the legal shops. And they're also, over there in Connecticut, they're deciding that cannabis, that's THC or Delta 8 or Delta 10, some amount of it, is now going to be sold by either medical marijuana or legal cannabis shops that deal with recreational cannabis. There's a lot of people who are actually not going to be doing very well when they're not allowed to sell off their hundreds of thousands of dollars of products in their store, or their clientele that is looking for those products, they can't deal with them anymore. What a nightmare. And they're actually doing such a disservice to folks who are getting involved in legal hemp. By 2018, all these things were legalized, and it said that you could have any derivative of cannabis. If it was CBD, it had less than 0.3% THC, then that's a legal cannabis product or a hemp product. And now they're changing their tune a little bit, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of people who are now invested heavily in this business, and they're going to be screwed. Also in news, federal appeals court has ruled that it's unconstitutional to deny a person their right to have firearms because of their cannabis use or because they have a medical cannabis license. But they're saying that's not historically accurate. There's never been a time in history where people were denied having firearms because of their use of cannabis. And people have been using cannabis for a long time. It's been less than 100 years that prohibition has been around. And it's right around the same time that petroleum products got very large in our economy. Now what they're saying, though, is if you're a cannabis user, you can have firearms. It's actually the most significant and most recent ruling, and so it may have implications across the nation as it relates to people with firearms. Now, where this case is coming from, a person had legal firearms. They legally had these firearms. They purchased legally, and they were legally able to have them. And then they were caught with half a gram of cannabis, and they were sentenced to 4 years in prison because they had cannabis and firearms. So they're saying this is completely ridiculous. It's very unconstitutional, and it's not okay. And we're going to stop this right here in the Federal Appeals Court. Thanks for watching The Walk Daily.